Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. This is Leslie and today we are going to be decorating the altar journal that I had started, and I have two videos up so far. One is a little of a shorter video, one is a much longer video, but what I did was I actually started to place the pockets and everything where I kind of want them, so we're going to start decorating today. So stay tuned and we'll start playing around in my journal. Take care. Okay, so today we are going to start decorating the journal that I started to create in the first two videos. I've done quite a bit of stuff off camera. So basically what I've done is I've added kind of what I want to go where. These are the papers I'm going to put on the inside of the cover. I've cut out my calendar pieces. And then I also put the holiday and observances. So I did cut that out from the calendar that I did receive, and I think I showed that in video 1. But what I did was I added the pockets, a couple of pictures, and I made a side pocket on one. And then the other thing too that I did was I made a top pocket on this one. This was one that had already been sealed. But all the ones that I have paper clipped together are ones that I'm going to make either top pockets or side pockets out of. This is a 3-pocket piece, which I learned to do from Joey DeFee. I will link her video down below, and the book that I did use for that was this one here. It is the Oxford Illustrated Literary Guide to Great Britain and Ireland. It is a nice big book. So it has nice big pages. The pages are fairly thick. They're not real thick. But there's a lot of great pictures in here. And also I had pulled out, the first page of course I pulled out had to do with the Hellfire Club and the Hellfire Caves. So I was like, nope, I'm not using that as a pocket. So I put that in with my papers. But this book is really amazing. So I'm looking forward to using the pictures and stuff in this book. Then the picture of the flower came from this book. And this is The Flowers of Kew Gardens. And this was a paper that was actually in the book, so I will use that at some point in time. And it's the Tennessean from Nashville, Tennessee, and it was established in 1812. And this has beautiful pictures. So I figured that would be a good book to use as well. And I have a couple other books and stuff that I'm looking to possibly use. All right, so let's get started. I'm not going to work on the cover. I think the cover is going to maybe be one of the last things that I do. But the first thing I want to do is I want to put in these front pages. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some blue ink and I'm just going to do the edges. I know I'm probably shaking you. I have to find a way of not having this attached to my desk. I may have to move my camera. I may have to get shelves that go above the front part of my desk, just so that I don't constantly shake the camera. And I'm only doing this because I just want to make sure that this is all covered. Okay. When I put the paper, even though I did a fairly good job of measuring the paper. And if you hear a baby, that is our next door neighbors. Actually, I think what I might do, I'm going to round off the corners on this. Sometimes it works and sometimes it does not want to work. There we go. I hope everybody is well. I had gotten a call or a text last evening saying one of the girls was sick. So she was supposed to be going for a COVID test. So I'm truly hoping that she is not sick, only because I work fairly close with her on a daily basis. Okay, so I guess that remains to be seen, so we'll wait and see. I know I feel fine, thank goodness. Okay, maybe we will just use our art glitter glue. Now this bottle was made for me from Natasha of Journey of Crafting. I will put a link to her Etsy shop in my description down below. Now this paper was actually paper that I had purchased from Tuesday Morning, which is no longer, of course, in my area. But if I use any of the papers that I have purchased from anybody, I will go and find the links so you can see which ones I've actually purchased if you're interested in purchasing them for yourselves. So I pulled out all the pages that I needed to pull out. That's not too bad. So as you can see, it is much thinner. So that gives us plenty of room to embellish and put stuff on the inside. So I did that off camera. I said, let me do that off camera because otherwise it's going to take me forever. Because I really don't want to make hour-long videos. I mean, I'm not sure. I know I watch videos that are that long because I basically just watch YouTube, but I know there are a lot of YouTubers who actually, that's how long their videos actually are. They always do an hour, but I was trying to make my videos be at least a half an hour, but I'm also thinking too, I may have to do a little bit longer, even if it's like 40 minutes, only due to the fact that I kind of want you guys to see the process of what I'm going through. I don't want to do it all off camera. I'd like to do it on camera. Especially since, like I've said, this is brand new to me. I have not altered a book before. Okay. So far, so good. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to put a pocket here on the front. I know I want to put this in the front. And this I want to put on where I'm going to do January. So I think that may go here. And then this will go maybe like that. I plan on doing a lot of collaging as well. So a lot of pages and stuff that are half pages I kind of want to do some collaging on. But I think we're going to make a pocket here. So not sure how I want to lay these out yet. I have some papers here. I did a lot of fussy cutting. And that's going to be all for the collaging. So I did that. So I have a whole bunch of stuff ready to go. These little containers were purchased at the Dollar Tree. They were one of those extra buys where you get the extra one, so I got 4. And these are where I have the calendars that I cut up. So I have one for each month. So each month that I do a new page for the month, I will have the calendars already cut out. Then also too in here, I have a whole bunch of stuff that I cut. So we have stuff to work with at least today and going forward. Now these were also ones that I had chosen. Thinking I might use that. Let's see here. Get a pen, or I should say a pencil. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it right about here. So what kind of journaling is everybody doing? Is everybody working on a bullet journal? What kind of journaling are you guys working on? Have you created your own journal yet? Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's a good size. All right. Now this is just lightweight copy paper. This is not cardstock. I'm thinking I probably should back it with cardstock. I think what I'm going to do, let's move this out of the way. for right now. I'm going to glue this on. So this I'm going to glue completely onto the black cardstock. I'm going to leave an edge on it just so that then we have contrast of color. And if I have to cut it down a little, I can cut it down. Is it straight? It looks straight. And I promised myself I was not going to be so, what's the word I'm looking for? Particular. Because I tend to be very, very particular when it comes to stuff that I do, and it takes me a lot longer to get through with stuff, so I don't plan on doing that. I'm going to try to not do that. And as I'm crafting today, we are drinking some red Shiraz. And it is very, very good. John picked that up because he's going to be making stew, and it actually calls for red wine. And I may have to go buy another bottle tomorrow, because this is really good. And to be surprising enough, it was in a twist top bottle, which totally surprised me. But you can never underestimate wines just because it's in a twist top bottle. All right, so I'm taking out my trusty cutter here. This is a self-sharpening paper cutter. And I absolutely love this machine. It even has lights. So it has lights here if you needed to have the lights, but it should be good. Okay. So let's see what we got here. Find the book. Yeah, we're gonna have to cut it down just a little bit. Okay. But I like the contrast with the black and the blue. I don't remember. Oh, this is a Caterpillar Pro. And if you're interested, I can put a link to it down below. I am not affiliated with Amazon or anything like that, but I can certainly see if I can find it for you guys. I'll take a little bit off the top here. Okay, let's see how that works before I put this away. Much, much better. Perfect, actually. All right. So we'll put that on the bottom. We'll take the Art Glitter Glue. Put a little dab on the side. Oops. Does anybody else do that, or is it just me? I always miss the edge and end up going off the edge. You probably can't see me. I have to keep looking up, guys. I shoot with my phone, so. Okay. I'm going to try and pay attention to time, too. I'm using my little dry cloth. This is basically the wet ones. I use the Huggies Simply Clean. I get these actually at the Dollar Tree. And then I will take one out and let it dry. And that's what I use to get the glue off and rub it down. And that's how I do it. And I actually learned that from Shabby Dabby Doo-Dah. She actually does that. I think that's what she uses as well. Okay, so we have a little bit of a pocket. The only thing is, though, it's kind of tight. But, I mean, just to fit like stuff like this in it, I think we're okay. Okay, so we'll let that dry. Next side, let's see, what do we want to do with this? Do we want to, kind of want a collage. Let's see here, what do I have here? Oops, of course I dropped everything. I have some of these papers. That one. So I know I'm not definitely going to have everything is going to be blue in here, so, but I am going to do my best to have as many blues and purples as I can. Then I have these, which I want to sporadically put within the journal itself. This I kind of wanted to spell out January. Which I definitely will be able to. I might put it on black. Let's try that before I start anything else. Let's try that first. Move that out of the way. And I think I'm going to use this, only because it's thinner. Choose this side. You could see me, okay. And where is my ruler? Let's utilize the ruler and some washi tape. Because I know what's going to happen if I don't use washi tape. I'm going to end up moving it and it's going to get all wonky. And I don't want a wonky January. Okay, let's try that. Let's try to do that. J. These look so much bigger on the paper than what they actually are. Crochet A. Now, silver has always been my favorite, more so than gold. So you're always going to see me use a lot more silver than I do gold. I'm not a huge fan of gold, actually. Now we need a U. I think it's just the sparkle of silver that I like. I just find that it's a little bit more. I need to get a new one of these. This thing is so bent. What do you guys prefer? Do you prefer using gold, yellow gold, rose gold? I like rose gold. Or do you like silver or white gold? I prefer white gold, but the other day I had gone into work later. It was a later shift for me since I was working this Saturday. And as I was leaving, there was a whole bunch of stuff going on here at the apartment complex. I don't know if I can lift this up, can I? I can. It ended up being, there was a fire. I don't know anything about it because the complex really hasn't even said anything about it. I only know it was a fire because one of the girls that I used to work with, her friend, I guess, had seen it on Facebook. And she contacted me to find out if I was okay. Because, of course, you know, she didn't know what building or anything it was. And it was all the way up on top of the hill. It wasn't anywhere down where we were, thank God. But scary just the same. And it was a very, very windy day, which made it even worse for the fire departments. I think there were 3 fire departments here. For some oddball reason, there was a task force bus here as well. And I could not understand why there was a task force. So with everything that had been going on, I'm like, oh great, does this have anything to do with what happened the day before? I'm like, oh God, I hope not. And still, as of right now, I don't really know what happened. I haven't seen anything. Nobody's posted about anything, so I just hope. To me, it kind of looked like it was 2 apartments that ended up getting affected. Well, it could actually be 4 because there's an upstairs and a downstairs, and it was on the upstairs level. But I just hope everybody was okay. All right, so I finished that. I'm gonna let that dry. What I did was I used these little kitty scissors and cut around the sides for it. So we're gonna let that dry. But I like the way that looks. Oops. Let's see here. Next. All right, so we got our pocket. I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna put January here. I think I'm gonna use this on here too. I mean, these may be kitty scissors, but I'm not very good at them. Okay. And I might, do I want to back something with that too? All right, let's see here. We have a whole bunch of different types of lace, because lace makes everything look better. At least that's just my opinion. And I think that's perfect. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Okay. So let's see here. Let's put you off to the side. Let's put that there. Let's cut this. Okay. I'm gonna cut this down just a little tiny bit. Use our Fabri-Tac for that. Do we want anything else? Let's see here. Now we're going to put something here. Maybe we'll put winter. But do I want to put something else underneath it? I think it looks a little too plain. Let's see here. What about what about this here? Put that there. Shoot, I put this on the wrong thing. There we go. Because once this is down, it's down. All right, I'm gonna put this I want to soot up the edges here. And we're going with black. We're doing the black soot. We're going to glue that down. that down here. And then I still want to put something else. Let's see. What do we have in my little box of lace and stuff? Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. I kind of like that. Let's cut this. We'll put that on top. Let's see here. It goes a little further down, I think. Let's do down about there. See how that looks. Or do we do this? I think we're going to do that instead. We're going with that. So let's put this down first. We need our Fabrifix. This is another problem I always have. That's the right way. Okay. All right, that's perfect. Okay, now let's put some Fabrifix on Winter here. I think I'm going to have to hit up Natasha to do another bottle for me, just so I can put this stuff in another bottle. And I think we're going to do that. Let's see. I think we're good. I think that looks really good. What do you guys think? Get to my little dry glue thingy. Okay. I'm going to cut this down just a little tiny bit. Much better. All right, so let's do the top here. We're going to do this up on top. Start getting some stuff on the pages here. this down. Who else loves working with lace? I'm not into, for say, the whole big, you know, I guess you call it vintagey, frou-frou. Really shouldn't call it frou-frou, but I enjoy lace. I just enjoy the look of lace behind stuff. I just think it sets off an item really nicely. Just like that. I think that just adds a little something to it. And I don't even care if it's showing up on the top either. Let's move this down a little bit better. Okay. So now we're going to take our little calendar. I like it. Or do I want to put that down there? Oh, I better move it out of the way. Let me move this paper out of the way. I think I'm going to put that down there. Okay. Let's put this down here. If you hear crying again, I'm sorry. There's a little baby crying next door. I always feel bad for that poor little baby. Probably more so for the parents. Oh God, poor things. John and I, when we had gotten together, we considered having children, but we kind of realized that we weren't the parenting type of people. We were already older when we had met. So we just thought, you know what? We just don't think it was for us. So we decided not to have children. We've had many, many pets and still do. Don't know if I like that or not, but let's see. Well, it does tie it in. Let's try this. Over our lifetime, we've had 2 German Shepherds, Shotzi, which was his dog when I met him, and when we had purchased our house in Connecticut, Shotzi was up there in age. She was, I want to say she was already 14 or 13 and a half, going on 14. we didn't want her to be alone because we were both traveling quite a distance to go to work. So we just decided we were going to look for another dog to try and keep her company. So since we had lived in Connecticut, we had decided to go to the Danbury Animal Society, I think is what it was called. And we found Ben. Ben, let's see. Okay. So Ben was a mixture of a German Shepherd and an Australian cattle dog, but he was the size of an Australian cattle dog. So he was a herder, just like Shotzi was. Sorry guys, I still get emotional. See, he was actually the perfect fit for her. I think he was either 2 or 3 when we got him. John's better at ages than what I am. And let's see, when we had moved, we had still had cats from when we lived at the apartment in New York. Let's see, who did we have? We had Grumpy. Kaiser had already passed. We had Lena. Who we still have today. Dodger. And Loki. Now Loki, Grumpy, and Kaiser had been John's cats. But John and I had gotten Lena and Dodger at the same time. We had gone to a cat show when we were living in New York, and they of course were doing the Humane Society. I think it was a Dutchess County, if I'm not mistaken. And of course, Lena was my grandmother's name. But Dodger, I think, was the first one we had chosen. Dodger was a long hair, tan. He was like tan and white. Lena is a tortie of different color browns. And like I said, we still have her. She is probably, what, in the 17-year-old range? Because I think we were told that they were about 2 years old when we had gotten them. And she doesn't, we think that she's deaf. If not completely, I think partially. Yeah, that's good. I think we're gonna go with that. But she's a trooper. She just keeps kicking around, so. And she was always a pain in the butt. I mean, she still is sometimes, but not as much as she was. No, because I think it's because she's just so much older now. But once we moved in to the house in Connecticut, we had all this room, so we were like, okay. We ended up getting I don't remember if it was when we got Ben, if we got 2 more cats, or if it was with Chino, or it may have been separately. I really don't remember. But all I know is that after Ben, I know we had gotten Ariana and Nyla. And they came from Dawes, Danbury Animal Society, which is where we got Ben. And then, unfortunately, Shotzi had passed away. She was a little over 14, I think. But she was over 14. She may have even been 14 and a half. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think she passed in October. So she was around for quite a long time. Ben, in the meantime, became depressed. So we were like, all right, well, let's see if we can find another dog. So since we liked Dawes, we decided that we would continue to look for our animals from there. So we had gone to the shelter, and I guess they had just recently got in a bunch of animals, or I should say dogs, from Puerto Rico, and they were called Satos, S-A-T-O, S-A-T-O. And don't know why they call them satos, but he was not what I was looking for. I think there were, if I'm not mistaken, I think there was just a truckload of dogs that were just being delivered. And there was a dog that I really, really liked, and John's like, no, 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 you know, whatever. And Chino was just goofy. He had a crooked mouth. He had ingrown eyelashes. He had, his jaw literally was crooked. And we were told that he was a mixture of a Border Collie and Spaniel. What a goofball. Not much room here. So that was our crew for quite a while. And then eventually we had a couple of them who passed, and you know, stuff like that. But we'll talk about the rest on another video. I don't think I can emotionally take much more. All right, that looks pretty good. We are on an hour, and this is as far as I've gotten. Jesus. Okay, so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut this here. So at least we have these 2 pages glued in. You got to hear about my pet family. We did the first cover page, and we have a pocket. So for now, I think I'm just going to keep that in there. I may just keep that in there. So I hope you enjoyed this. Sorry I got so emotional. That's just me. But I think what we'll do is in the next video, we'll work on this page, and I will try and figure out what to do with these 2 pages. But I know we'll definitely do this page next. So I hope everybody has a wonderful week. I will see you in a couple of days with my next video. I am going to continue to film, so I will be going to start working on this as soon as I'm done here. And hopefully I can get maybe 3 videos out to you guys this week, so we'll see what happens. But have a good week, and I will see you all on my next video. Enjoy your week. Have a great week, everybody. Take care. Thank you for joining me. Bye.